in any way whatsoever, has it ever affected your relationships with people that you've grown up with? Has it created and fostered new ones of akin spirits? How has it changed maybe the dynamics of your relationship with people at large? Because sometimes it's when you go through this process or are trying a new way of living to discover yourself and, things that make you truly happy, that will have its own filtering process. So has that dramatically changed?
That's a really, really good question. And I am fortunate enough that the people who are sort of in my inner circle are all largely very supportive. When I first started kind of getting rid of all of my stuff, because I think that's where it starts with minimalism, is you have this mindset light bulb and then you just want to like clear out all of your stuff and sort of get started. And when I started doing that with no explanation to my family and friends, I had a lot of people that were genuinely concerned that I was struggling with something mental health wise because I was getting rid of all of this nice stuff, things that I've spent time and money on, whatever. I think once I gave the language to help people understand where I was in my life and in my mind, that helped people come to understand what I was going through. You can't really expect to just like change 180 internally and have everybody fall into line and understand right away if you don't give them that context and language, in my opinion. So I did my best to do that. And I set boundaries, friends that I would previously go shopping with as a hobby. I set a boundary that wasn't what I wanted to do with my time anymore. And those who respected my boundaries got to stay in my life. And those who didn't respect my boundaries, just like with any other boundary, I have to protect myself first. So those relationships grew apart slowly. So for my immediate family and my closest friends, the impact was more just through explanation and then slow, gradual change. As far as how it impacts my relationships today, with some of my family members, specifically like my parents, as I mentioned earlier, who have a lot of generations worth of stuff in their life. And I think, hold a lot of sentiment to their stuff in a way that I do not. I've noticed sometimes that causes a little bit of friction because I want to help them in my mind get to where I am. And just like with anything in life, like religion, for example, you can't really force it upon somebody. They have to sort of get there naturally. And I think there was a period of time, specifically with my parents, where there was a little bit of a struggle there. And then I learned the best way, you lead a horse to water and hope they drink. So in recent years, my parents have been coming to me more for help with things like decluttering because even though they're my parents, we both have different mindsets and different skill sets. So I think now that I'm a full adult, they feel comfortable asking my advice with things that I happen to be very skilled about, like the concept of minimalism and decluttering. My husband is the only person who I share a house with. And although he doesn't call himself a minimalist, he is also a very minimal and tidy person just by nature. So there's been no friction there. And as far as dynamics with friends today, again, nothing's really changed, but I do have friends that ask my help for like motivation when it comes to decluttering more than in the past when I wasn't a minimalist.